449, whatever that says.
Well, the thing is,
Back it out.
Oh, that one down.
you just caught me on a good day.
All right, here we go. We'll call this regular city council meeting to order on April 20th, 2026 at 6:11 p.m. Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson,
Present.
Mr. Bateman,
Present.
Mr. Becky,
Present.
Mrs. McClellan,
Present.
Mr. Parrott,
Present.
Mr. Downs,
Present.
Mr. Clemens,
Present.
Mrs. O'Donoghue.
Present.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, does anybody like to speak under public participation this evening? Okay, for the record, there is no public participation. This evening, we will start with the consent agenda, which consists only of payment of bills.
Move to approve.
Second.
Alderwoman O'Donoghue made the motion. Alderman Anderson second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson,
Yes.
Mr. Bateman,
Yes.
Mr. Becky,
Yes.
Mrs. McClellan,
Yes.
Mr. Parrott,
Yes.
Mr. Downs,
Yes.
Mr. Clemens,
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donoghue.
Yes.
Okay, next up is item 6A, resolution approving the content of certain executive session minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Alderman Downs made the motion. Alderwoman O'Donoghue second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. O'Donoghue,
Yes.
Mr. Anderson,
Yes.
Mr. Bateman,
Yes.
Mr. Becky,
Abstain.
Ms. McClellan,
Yes.
Mr. Parrott,
Yes.
Mr. Downs,
Yes.
Mr. Clemens.
Yes.
Okay, the next item is 6B, resolution repealing resolution number 2022-449, allocating 50% of the video gaming tax to the capital projects funds and designating 100% of the video gaming tax for receipt into the general fund.
Motion to approve. Second.
Alderman Downs made the motion. Alderman Clemens second. Discussion? Mr. Conzo.
Just a point of clarification, because I did have some questions about this. If you're voting to do this, then you're voting to repeal the resolution which had specified that 50% of the video gaming tax would go to capital projects fund and the other 50% to the general fund. So a yes vote on this is to repeal that and to return to the practice of receiving 100% of it into the general fund.
Alderman Parrott.
So this is just for this particular year, or this is going forward?
Well, this resolution would be effective with this this coming year, the 26-27 fiscal year, but it would go forward unless otherwise repealed or modified.
It's permanent.
Well, I mean, it's permanent unless reversed at a subsequent vote.
Unless it's
Yeah.
appealed.
Alderman
Right.
Bateman.
Right.
As last week I stated, I'm against this because the whole point of having this 50-50 was the money goes into the capital projects fund, which we were going to designate for roads and alley repair. So we can't have enough money in the alley repair and road repair. So, and we always find money in the budget somewhere. We don't go over budget, and in 2 months we're going to pass appropriations, which is even more than budgeted. So this is kind of a silly thing to do, in my opinion, but that's why I'm voting no, because I think we need to spend more money on fixing roads than putting it in the general fund.
Alderman Parrott and then Treasurer Conzo.
Yeah, my understanding is that the need for this is because of increased salaries and benefit costs. And at the time, I thought when we were voting for those additional positions and such that we had the funds available. But it seems like now we probably don't for this particular budget year. And I'm concerned going forward, as well, that the funds, won't be there. I'm gonna be a no vote as well on this. I think we're gonna have to do something different. I think we need, and I think of the residents the citizens of Lincoln, to Kevin's point, would appreciate, some of their tax dollars additional, although these are gaming and some of them are from outside entities, not necessarily Lincoln people, but the reason I think we picked this is because it was a for sure funding source so that we could have those capital projects. So I'll be a no vote as well.
Treasurer Gonzo.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of things that I would point out. Yes, the capital projects fund is important, but the general fund is our chief operating fund. Salaries, not just the salaries for the positions created, but all the salaries with the exception of the things pertaining to the operation of the sewers and the sewer plant. Those are paid out of the general fund, and numerous other expenses for supplies and materials and all kinds of things, police protection, fire protection, the streets and alleys department, even though the capital project funds pay for a lot of the road construction and resurfacing, a lot of the other expenses, if you look in the general fund budget, if you take the time to read it, you'll see that a lot of the streets and alley expenditures are out of the general fund too. And the other thing, and I've talked about this before, and I can't emphasize this enough, is the fund balance in that fund, and I'll talk about it somewhat in the city treasurer's report a little bit later in this meeting, as I generally do every month. But if you look at it, you've got a general fund balance of $3,883,000 plus. Now that's better than it has been in years ago, but it's down. It's down considerably from what it was 2 years ago. It was $1 million more than it is now, and you need that for that fund balance, not only to make sure you've got enough in reserve in case of an emergency, or in case of things that cost more than you expect them to, like gasoline is right now. But it's also is very significant in what we're going to do here in a few days. I believe on the 29th, I'm going to have a call with Standard & Poor's, and based on the Standard & Poor's call and the information that we provide them and the audit and various other records, they're going to give us a bond rating, and that bond rating determines the interest that you're going to pay on that Fifth Street Road bond from now until the year 2046, or 2051 if you go for the 25-year, which I would not recommend doing that. But in any case, that's why it's important. We're at an A+ bond rating. That sounds good, but that's kind of at the upper end of the medium. There are four levels above that. There's AA-, AA+, and AAA. For Illinois, that's a pretty good bond rating, but it could be better. It does need to be better. The other thing I would point out, and I think Alderman Parrott and Alderman Bateman both have talked about, the need to spend money on roads, and people want that. Of course we do. Well, you're going to spend $8.25 million on roads here very soon, not including the resurfacing and other things that Superintendent Landers has outlined in the budget, but just on those, just on that road improvement. And that's going to cost us money. It's going to cost us about $607,000 to $615,000 per year to pay that back. So we are spending a lot of money on the roads. I'm not saying that isn't a good idea, but it's also a good idea to adequately fund the other functions of city government, which are numerous.
Alderman Anderson.
Yeah, I'd like to ask the department heads kind of a question here. With this being coming from the capital project funds, do you guys see any impact in the upcoming year by taking that money out of your budget on different projects maybe that you may have coming up? It may affect some departments more than others, but
It will have no bearing on the sewer department as our funds are kept separate per Illinois state statute.
With the expenses that we have with Fifth Street and also Tremont Street coming up, we're going to have to rely on our motor fuel tax money more than we ever have in the past, because that's going to put a big dent on our capital projects paying for those two streets, at least for the next 2 or 3 years, however long it may take. So I don't see it really making too much of a difference for us as far as resurfacing and other things. Being able to put nice, good-sized projects together, we're going to be limited.
Stan, is your question more along the lines of, because I believe the amount the treasurer's talking about is it 300,000? Is that correct?
That we would be short.
Right.
Yeah, it's about 200.
So you
Just under
take that
200.
take that amount, and then I think you're asking if each department could absorb that cost into their budget?
Yeah,
So a $50,000 adjustment per budget for the 4 departments.
well,
Is that what you're asking, Stan?
yeah, not so much, I guess. I'm thinking more streets and alley and sewer. I mean, I don't know, maybe between fire and police if it, I'm just asking more for streets and alley and sewer, if it's going to affect plans, projects that you have in the line, that if we was to move this money and take it from the video gaming and put it into the general fund, if that's going to affect anything you have going on.
Well,
Again, the impact of the 2 big projects that we have going on right now is big, and it's going to limit to what we can do. So I know Mr. Conzo said that we can make, deposits back into out of that general fund back into capital projects. So if we come up with maybe a strategic plan where each year we try to save some, and we can, at the end of the year, we can, put some of that back into the capital projects if there's a surplus available. And if we could do that over the next 2 or 3 years and build it up a little bit, and think about it strategically, I think it would work.
Mr. Bateman and then Mr. Conzo.
So, Mr. Conzo, in a couple months around June, when we pass the appropriations that I'm always against, are you telling me that the appropriations will be exactly what we're getting ready to pass tonight in the budget, or will it be like why I always vote no, the appropriations is always higher than the budget? Because if that's the case, then we're crying the sky is falling tonight, and in 2 months from now, the sky will have fallen because we're going to spend more money than we budgeted for.
Well, that's fascinating, but it's not accurate. The appropriation is designed, excuse me?
The appropriations is always more than the budget. That's
Right.
why I vote no.
I didn't say that part wasn't accurate. The way you framed it isn't accurate, which has been the case for the last, I don't know how many years. But the idea with the appropriation is, A, if there's a need to spend more than what's in the budget, and B, if the funds are available. It isn't a way to bloat the budget or to increase the budget. It's a way to prepare for things, or enables us, because appropriation is binding, enables us to meet unexpected needs. For example, if the price of gasoline continues to go up, you're going to have, you're going to need more in those lines than you need now. As I've mentioned before, things that break, and the department heads and others may not be aware at this point in time. They might be later. Other things that cause increases. And the idea with the appropriations to prepare for worst-case scenario. And that's what we do. We don't always spend the money that's in the appropriation. And then when we get to the end of the year, we move it around within that sub-fund if we've gone over. But so there's a big difference between the two. One is what you plan to spend based on what you expect the revenues to be. The other is what you will spend if there's a need and if there is the money available to do it. To go back to what Superintendent Landers had asked about or had talked about, there is a provision in the budget, as I mentioned last week, to allow for up to $325,000 in transfer from the general fund to the capital projects fund. The last year we did not do that. The previous year we did do that, and a lot of times it depends on the need. The next couple of years, as Mr. Landers has pointed out, it's going to be a little tight, and that's because of this particular project we have coming up for the Fifth Street Road. We still have 2 years left on the Stallhut Drive extension, so that's almost done. That's $150,000. The ever popular pavilion that Alderman Bateman was, you know, fiercely advocated for has, that's gonna cost us about $390,000, which I know part of that is some, $137,000 of that is ARPA, but the other $260,000 will come from a loan that'll be repaid through capital projects. So you've got several things in there for the next couple of years that are, they're gonna put a little bit of a strain on that. But we do have provision for that transfer if needed. Also, you have to think about the strain that it puts on the general fund. I can't emphasize this enough, that that's our chief operating fund. The fact that, you know, you may not like that, that's the way it is.
Alderman Barrett.
Superintendent Landers, so with the capital projects that we're not hiring out, how many projects do we have planned this year for your staff? What will they be doing with capital
So,
projects?
Sidewalk and curb replacements ongoing. You know, pretty much that's what we do. And then a lot of that stuff is already paid through the MFT. But as far as any large projects that we're going to be doing, there's not anything planned other than the ongoing curb and sidewalk replacements where we need to patching and those type things.
And so none of the capital improvements that we won't have, how much of the capital improvements last year increased that amount? And some of that was done by outside entities as well too, though, right?
Most of your capital projects are done by contractors.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Becky.
If I'm understanding, being new, if I'm understanding this correctly, this was initially changed in 2022, right? And then it was due to streets, an increase that was necessary to transfer funds to pay for a deficit in streets repair. So this seemed to me that this was like a temporary patch until that was rectified, and then before that time, it has always been 100% in capital fund. Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't recall that being a temporary decision. It was a shift in mindset. We had constituents that were very concerned that, quite honestly, our alleys were just terrible. And Alderman Hopeful, I believe at the time, made the suggestion that in this case, we shift 50% and focus it on the alley improvements and maintenance. And so that was my understanding moving forward, was that that's how we were able to continue to address alleys in poor condition. So by going backwards, and when the treasurer brought this up in full disclosure, I believe I told you, as long as it did not impact our ability to continue to do that maintenance, then I was in support of that. If we're going backwards from a maintenance perspective, I wouldn't be in support of it. Mr. Becky.
So, and what Mr. Parrott had said, that it can revert back. It's not like it's locked forever. It's not permanent, so it can be adjusted when it's necessary.
You can repeal it every year if you'd like.
Okay.
Yep. Mr. Landers and then Mr. Conzo.
Yes, we do the alley reconstruction work. We do that with our crews.
But are you able to get more done since more money has been allocated for that?
So basically what we do is we use our MFT fund to buy, basically it's just buying rock. So when we till the alleys, then we put new rock down. I use general fund and MFT funds to purchase that rock.
Okay. Mr. Hoblet, did you have your hand up too? Okay. Mr. Conzo.
I think Superintendent Landers just said, you know, some part of what I was going to say, but I would also keep going back to that transfer that's available if it is needed too, which should cover that. And keep in mind too, and Superintendent Landers has talked about this, the Tremont Street project too. That's still planned to go forward, and we've designated the funds for that, so that will be happening over the next probably 2 years. I mean, that's what I thought. Yeah. So keep that in mind too. So it's not like we're going to sit here and not do anything with the streets and the alleys.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, if there's no other discussion, Roll call on item 6B.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
No.
Mr. Becky?
Yes.
Ms. McCullen?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott?
No.
Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Okay, the next item up is item 6C, budget resolution for fiscal year 2025-2026. Is there a motion to approve?
Move
Motion
to
to
approve.
Second.
Alderwoman McClellan made the motion. Alderman Downs, second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Becky?
Yes.
Mrs. McClellan?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott?
Yes.
Okay, next item up is item 8A, City Treasurer's Report for March 2026. Treasurer Conzo.
Thank you, Mayor. I covered part of it already in talking about the fund balance and how crucial that is. And as I said earlier, that you see a decline in that, so we need to, going forward, need to work at building that back up. I won't spend a lot of time on this because we've got a long agenda tonight, but if you look at the different sources of revenue in the attachments, you see that state income tax so far for the year has gone up, but not a lot. You know, we took in $4,000 more for the liability month of January than we did a year ago, and we took in about $8,000 more in February. So it's more, but it's not a lot more, and it's consistent to the projections that we had made. And then this is interesting here too, because you have the municipal tax and the use tax. And for the year, we finished, $28,000 above where we were last time, which certainly is better than going backward. But what you see there in the last couple of months, and this concerns me, is November, December. These are months of liability, not the month when we got the check, but the months of liability. We got the checks in March. You see there, they're down from where they were a year ago. And I think I talked about this last month too, that there is what I think is there are some of the things that are not subject to non-home rule sales tax, and I'll get to that in a moment. Things like things that are titled, things that are expensive like that are titled. Maybe the sales on those aren't what they were a year ago. I don't know if that's the case, but that certainly could be one of those things that would cause that to decline. And then the non-home rule sales tax, which is not assessed on groceries, it's not assessed on things that have a title. That has continued to hold up. In fact, it went up while the other one went down, while the regular sales tax and use tax went down, which is very unusual. But we've seen that trend there in both of the last 2 months, which is why I think what I just told you might be the case. Replacement tax, very close, within a couple $100s of where it was a year ago. Not any surprise there. And the motor fuel tax, this is, we've seen the gasoline go up, and you can see it there in the totals for January, and particularly for February. You see it's down, and the reason for that, that extra part is the increased tax on it. But remember, this is assessed on gallons sold, and if you look at that, you see that there were obviously fewer gallons sold. I think we all know why that is. The prices has gone up, and it's I guess it's leveled off right now. So we'll see how long that holds out, and I hope that is reversed rather quickly. And then the last one, the video gaming tax, which is frequently talked about in these meetings, not just today, but many times in the past. You see there it was down for January, and as I told you before, in December, state believes they overpaid at some point in the past over a period of several months. And so they withheld more of what we normally would have had for December and January. So we'll see how this looks in February and how that changes. And that's all I have, unless there's questions pertaining to that.
Any questions for Treasurer Conso? Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, next up is 8B, City Clerk's Report for March 2026. Ms. Bateman.
The amount of sewer receipts we received in the month of March was $360,264.14.
Questions for Ms. Bateman? Okay, thank you, Ms. Bateman. Okay, next item is 8C, Department Head Reports for March 2026. Those reports are already on file or will be shortly. Next item is 9A, Approval of Crawford Murphy and Tilly Work Order Number 18 for Design Engineering Services for Wastewater Treatment Plant Phosphorus Removal in an amount not to exceed $300,000.
Move to approve. Second.
Alderwoman McClellan made the motion. Alderwoman O'Donohue second. Discussion? Mr. Becky?
This might be a minor thing, but I believe on that, I was trying to find that contract, but it said not to exceed, or it was like something to the effect of $350,000. But this says 300,000,
Councilman Becky is correct.
that issue.
350 is what is proposed in the memo from CMT, or a cap of 350 for the project.
Okay.
So does that need to be changed?
Yes, we'll have to do an amendment. So we'll need a motion to amend to reflect 350,000.
I'll make a motion to amend agenda number 9A from 300,000 to 350,000.
Second.
Alderman Downs made the amended motion. Alderman Clemmons second. Discussion on the amendment. Roll call on the amendment, please.
Mr. Clemmons?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donohue?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Becky?
Yes.
Mrs. McCullen?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott?
Yes.
Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Any other discussion on 9A? Okay. Roll call on item 9A as amended, please.
Mrs. O'Donohue?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Becky?
Yes.
Mrs. McCullen?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott?
Yes.
Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Mr. Clemmons?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Becky, for pointing that out. Okay, next item is 9B, approval of request for special use permit for a drive-through operation at 311 South Logan Street.
Second.
Alderman Downs made the motion. Alderwoman O'Donohue second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. O'Donohue?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Becky?
Yes.
Mrs. McCullen?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott?
Yes.
Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Mr. Clemmons?
Yes.
Okay. Next item up is item 9C, approval of mayoral proclamation for the 2026 Arbor Day celebration.
Motion to approve. Second.
Alderman Clemmons made the motion. Alderman Downs second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Mr. Clemmons?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donohue?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Becky?
Yes.
Mrs. McCullen?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott?
Yes.
Okay, we typically read these proclamations. I'm going to go ahead and read it since we didn't do it last week in the interest of time. But the proclamation reads Proclamation 2026 dash, and Ms. Bateman will give me the other number later. No, that's okay. Arbor Day celebration. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. And whereas trees reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cutting heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. And whereas the city of Lincoln has been recognized as a Tree City USA by the National Arbor Foundation and desires to continue its tree planting practices. Now, therefore, I, Tracy Welch, Mayor of the City of Lincoln, Illinois, do hereby proclaim April 24th, 2026 as Arbor Day in the City of Lincoln, Illinois, and urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. Mr. Landers, when did you say you were gonna do the tree planting for that?
We'll be having it on Arbor Day, Friday,
Okay.
and it'll be at Melrose Park.
Okay,
Tentative time, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
We'll have a press release out tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay. Moving on to item 9D, approval of agreement between the City of Lincoln and the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 399, for the period from May 1st, 2026 through April 30th, 2030.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Alderman Anderson made the motion. Alderwoman McClellan second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. McCullen?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott? Yes. Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Becky?
Yes.
Next item is 9E, approval of agreement between the City of Lincoln and the Illinois Fraternal Order of Police, Lincoln City Lodge Number 208, for the period from May 1st, 2026 through April 30th, 2030.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Alderman Downs made the motion. Alderman Clemmons second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donahue?
Abstain.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Becky?
Yes.
Ms. McCullen?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott?
Yes.
Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Okay, the next item up is 9F, approval of agreement between the City of Lincoln and the International Association of Firefighters, Local 3092, for the period from May 1st, 2026 through April 20th, 2030.
Move to approve.
Alderwoman O'Donahue made the motion. Alderman Clemmons second. Discussion?
I
Alderman Anderson?
don't know if it really matters a whole lot, but on the agenda there, the date on it, it says through April 20th of 2020,
Oh, yes.
2030.
Yep. We'll have to amend that. Okay, is there a motion to amend the date to April 30th, 2030?
Motion to amend the date to April 30th, 2030.
Second.
Alderwoman O'Donahue made the motion to amend. Alderman Downs second. Any discussion? Roll call on the amendment, please.
Just
Mr.
say
Conklin?
that her proofreader missed that as well.
Oh, yeah, but he'll be docked. His wages will be docked. Roll call on the amendment, please.
Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Becky?
Yes.
Mrs. McCullen?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott?
Yes. Okay. Any further discussion on 9F? Okay, if there's no further discussion, roll call on 9F as amended, please.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Becky?
Yes.
Mrs. McCullen?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott?
Yes.
Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Okay, next item up is 9G, approval of the updated billing code for the City of Lincoln.
Move to approve.
Second.
Alderman Bateman made the motion. Alderman Anderson second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Becky?
Yes.
Mrs. McCullen?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott?
Yes.
Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donahue?
Yes.
Next item up is 9H, approval of loan proposal from United Community Bank for the Community Pavilion in the amount of $241,000 for a 4-year period at an interest rate of 4.91%.
Move to approve.
Second.
Alderwoman McClellan made the motion. Alderman Downs second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Becky?
Yes.
Mrs. McCullen?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott?
Yes.
Okay, next item is 9I, approval of revised agreement between the City of Lincoln and Logan County for animal control effective May 1st, 2026.
Move to approve.
Second.
Alderwoman O'Donahue made the motion. Alderman Clemmons second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Becky?
Yes.
Mrs. McCullen?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott?
Yes.
Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Okay, next item is 9J, approval of lease agreement for office space at 500 Broadway.
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Parrott made the motion. Alderman Downs, second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Mr. Clemmons?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Becky?
Yes.
Mrs. McCullen?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott?
Yes.
Okay, that brings us down to announcements. Does anybody have an announcement that they'd like to share? Alderman Downs.
I have two announcements. First, there is a local high school student, Brooklyn Edwards, that is in a competition for America's Favorite Student. It's a science-related contest where she met some certain requirements, and now she has to be voted in. So I believe there's a press release recently sent to New Herald News. The more votes she gets, that'll increase her likelihood of winning. So I think it'd be cool to have America's Favorite Student here in Lincoln.
So everybody go vote.
Yes, she would appreciate that. And then my second announcement, this Friday is my camp out for homeless veterans at Memorial Park here in Lincoln. It is a rain or shine event. It is calling for some rain that day, but I'm hoping that it's predicted to stop before my event starts. But either way, it is still a rain or shine event. I've camped in the rain before. We're providing boxes for those to camp in. However, if you're worried about rain, tents are also welcome. And there's a sleep in your car option as well. So hopefully the rain doesn't keep anyone away. It's also open to the public. So even if you're not camping, you just want to come out and hang out with us, the public is absolutely welcome and encouraged to attend. It's a great cause, and I hope to see as many as people possible there.
Sam, what's the times and where?
At Memorial Park, at the little turnabout at Memorial Park, 6 p.m. Friday to 9 a.m. Saturday morning.
All right, thank you. Okay, Alderman. Mr. Bounds, you can be an alderman if you'd like.
Nope.
Okay.
You guys are having all the fun tonight. It's
All
all
right,
good.
from the back of the room then, Mr. Bounds.
All right, got two for you tonight. Ask all residents of Lincoln to avoid 5th Street tomorrow. We are going to have a road closure in front of SEFCU to replace 2 catch basins, as well as some line feeding them or feeding into the system, as the case may be. Expect the road to be closed for about 3 days. For any of you commercial drivers out there, there's going to be a detour all the way around town to avoid 5th and Logan. The other news I got for you guys is I've got Bud Mason here with me tonight. He has accepted the role of project manager out at the plant, and I'd like to introduce them to you. So I'm going to pass the mic over to him.
Bud, you can come sit down front if you'd like, in the hot seat.
Wherever you want.
Yeah, that's in spite of Andrew trying to do everything to run me off, okay? I made a couple visits. My name is Bud Mason. I'm a licensed operator, 40 years experience, municipality, public, not-for-profit, and the private side. My grandpa is buried in Mount Pulaski. My dad was born in Lake Fork, and I got a grandson and granddaughter in Illiopolis. So when I seen this opportunity, I took it. Also, the opportunity of this relationship that you guys have with your sewer system, I think it's a great model that works. I want to make sure that continues to prosper and grow, and because without your infrastructure, all the economic development, everything else is kind of goes to put. So you'll be seeing me around. I don't take a hint. Just come out and tell me if you got questions. I'm here working for you guys, and let's make Lincoln. Lincoln is way bigger than what I originally thought. It was just a zoom down the interstate to get to Springfield. I lived outside near Roby, Illinois. Just bought a house, got relocated. Everything has fallen into place, but I have been welcomed. And it is, I don't know, it's just it's a really neat community.
Alderman Parrott.
Did you move here in town?
Yes.
Did you do a sewer inspection before you bought the house?
No. No, I had full confidence.
We need to get an ordinance so we can require that going forward, though.
That perspective will change over time. Anybody else have questions or comments for Mr. Mason? Okay, well, welcome.
Good. Thank
Glad
you.
to have you and look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, anybody else have an announcement? Mr. Becky?
And I haven't heard much of it here, and I assumed it affects all those in Lincoln as well. But the data center, they're having the Logan County Board is having a meeting Wednesday at 6 about that, and I just think it's important to see what's happening around our cities too as well, because I assume it will affect us in some way. So just want to bring it up this Wednesday, 22nd at the Logan County Courthouse.
Yeah, on that topic, I did have some questions about that, and I actually met with Ameren not too long ago because I wanted to kind of get the feel from them on it. Essentially, it's a lot of what we've heard already out in the press about the bills, about versus if they stay there, if the data center's approved, or if they move somewhere in the region, and how that impacts rate increases. I was pretty vocal also about the water. I know people are very concerned about water contamination in our area, but some of the other items I did defer back to the Logan County Board on, because they are dealing with the people in Latham as far as the farmland, the noise, pollution, things of that nature. So, yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I think it's important for people to understand that we are very aware of what's going on with the data center, but we're trying to make sure that the right people are answering the questions. But we do represent our constituents, and we're doing our best to look out for them. So thank you for that. Okay, any other announcements? Mr. Downs?
The electronics recycle, didn't that start today?
It did. Mr.
Okay.
Woodhall can fill us in.
Yes.
Okay. It
Man,
goes
a few
all
words.
week at the, what's the name of that building called? The
Municipal Services.
Municipal.
313 Limit Street.
Yes, at that building. All right. Just want to make you guys aware.
You got 5 whole words out of Wes. Man, a few words. Yeah, seriously, though, there's still slots to sign up for that if anybody has time to go out and help, I believe. It's Monday through Friday, and then Wednesday the hours are until 7 o'clock at night. So, yep, if you want to go sling some TVs and help the community, they'd love to have you. I think I'm scheduled tomorrow from 11 to 2. So, okay, any other announcements? Okay, if there are no other announcements, I would request a motion to go into executive session under 2C11 litigation and 2C1 personnel.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session 2C11 and
2C1
2C1.
personnel.
Second.
Alderman Downs made the motion. Alderman Parrott second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Parrott?
Yes.
Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donoghue?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Becky?
Yes.
Mr. McCullen?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott?
Okay.
Yes.
Going into executive session at 6:53 p.m. There will be no city business to follow.